Hello, my sewing friends. I'm Jen, and this is Friday Sews. When we talk about sewing in life, it's a weekly vlog that is done by a lot of people, and all you need to do to find them is to click on the hashtag that's down in the description box or in the top comment. And while you're down there clicking on that, shortly before you do, moments before, don't forget to click subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of mine. I want to get right into the sewing because I've got things that I want to tell you about. Well, I'll start with this. This is such an easy breezy, wonderful dress to wear, and I'm so pleased it turned out. It's a mashup of McCall's 8214 and Simplicity 9152, which is from 1989. Everything that is old is new again. I've made this 3 more times before this one, and I wanted to try this with the pleated skirt on 9152. I've done the short version of this with 2 tiers and out of a sheet, and then I did another one with some rayon that I got from Trentex Fabrics in Hawaii, and then another one with some Tencel, lyocell, some kind of a blend, I don't know, a rayon-ish kind of a blend from Joann's. And I love all 3 of those dresses, and I wear them all the time. And so I wanted another one. When I saw this, I just thought, oh, I'd love to have that with a pleated skirt instead of the gathered tiers. So I then realized this is a size extra large. So there was no way this was going to fit me. I always cut a medium in this one. So I thought, well, how different are they? And then I realized, like, not at all, not even a little bit. The bodice is exactly the same, but this one does offer a tank top bodice as well as the, this one with the kind of extended shoulder. They're not really cap sleeves on this. It's just an extended shoulder. So same thing. So what I did was I thought, well, and the bodice is not a problem because I can just use this bodice because it's exactly the same. I did want to shorten the bodice though, because on my other 3 dresses, the bodice does come down kind of a little lower than I would like. So I put the pink one on, the lyocell, Tencel, whatever from Joann's. I put that one on. Well, what I did was laid it down and I pinned it up just along the front about an inch. And I thought, does that feel right? Is that where I want that? And it was. So I came back to the pattern and I just took off about, I think I took off 2 inches. And that gave me enough to where I was able to get this to hit right at the place that I want. And the key thing about this is, yeah, if this were tight and it were hitting me here, I would not be happy with it at all. But it's a very loose fitting dress, which makes it work. So I raised the waist, and then I had to look at the skirt here. And the thing about this is when you have a pleated skirt, it is pleated in such a way that it matches up with the width of the bodice. And I knew that, and I thought, this bodice is smaller. How am I going to do this? It's going to require fabric math. And I am so bad at sewing math, fabric math. No. Fractions, I'm good with fractions. And I've even gotten the decimals down to where they match with the fractions. But math in general, no, it never works. It's no, lost cause. So what I did was I took the skirt pattern from the Simplicity pattern and I pinned it all together pleated, like done. And then I laid down the bodice, the McCall's bodice, on top of it. And I started from the center and worked my way out. And I realized, okay, I've got this much left on either end. And so I just need for the pleats to end at the right place. So I did that. I just kind of worked it out to where it was like, yeah, about that's going to work. And then I undid all the pleats. I took all the pins out and kind of gauged how much was coming from each side seam. And I thought, yeah. And I did it and it worked. And I thought, pleats are very forgiving because if they're If you need more room, you can just let them out a little bit. If you need less room, you can take them up a little bit. So they're very forgiving, and it worked. It worked really well. So I put the thing together. It goes together so quickly because all you do is turn the edges of the sleeves under. That's it. You just like narrow hem. And this is bias, but I cut just short bias strips and did a folded in, basic bias binding on the neckline. Put in side seam pockets. I really like where the waistline on this dress hits me. I really do, because I think it's much more flattering than for it to come way down like the other two do. It's not that I'm unhappy with the other dresses, but I like this better. So the fabric is a 100% cotton batik that I found on Facebook Marketplace. No, it was a Facebook group, like a fabric destash page. And this woman had bolts of this stuff and in all kinds of colors. So I ordered 5 yards. I think it was $6 a yard, and then the shipping. And so it was like buying it on Etsy. But I got 5 yards, so I knew I had plenty, and I think I still have about 2.5 yards left. I am really, really picky, fussy, pick your word, about how much fabric I use or don't use when I'm laying out a pattern. Man, I will squish things together to get every last little thread saved if I can, So anyway, turned out great. And now I've used one of my thrifted patterns, which makes me happy because I am committed to sewing through every pattern I have, if possible. The only other thing I did was to take a dress that had been given to me. It was a thrifted dress that my BFF Trish had gotten, and she didn't want it anymore. She just said, here, she had a whole stack of things. And I said, oh yeah, I like that. So it's blue and white stripes, cotton linen. And I thought, oh, that's so cute. It was a button front, kind of a shirt dress, but it was just, it didn't have any waistline seams or anything, nothing fitted, no darts, no nothing, basically. It was just straight up and down. And it had side seam pockets, and I thought, oh, that's cute. So I tried it on. I really liked it, and I brought it home. And I wore it once, and I thought, this thing needs some shape. It needs a belt, or it needs, I don't know, something. And I didn't want to put a belt on. Belts are funny. They're hard for me to get right. So I thought, well, I'll just cut it off and make it a shirt. So I did. Last night I came in here, I took another button front shirt that I have, and I, kind of matched the hem up. And then I just went ahead and cut it, and that was about all there was to it. I took the pockets off, resewed the side seams, and then I cut it and hemmed it. And now I have this very cute little sleeveless collared button front shirt. And it's blue and white, so it goes with a lot, and very summery, it's that blue and white thing. Very Nantucket. Yes, I'm getting so fancy. I really like it. So life has been hot. In the Northern Hemisphere, it doesn't matter where you go, it's hot. And if it's not hot, it's drowning in water. It's wet. I don't know what happened. Summer and August, and that's the hottest time of the year around here anyway. So it's hot everywhere, and we're all running for the air conditioning. And because of that, I came in here. Every time I have been coming in here to the sewing room lately, I've been frustrated because there have been just these last couple things that need to be taken care of before the whole place is the way I want it to be. And I've had to come to some realizations about that. Things like it's a workroom, not a magazine cover or a magazine spread. It doesn't have to look like a magazine all the time because it's where you work. It's where you cut things out and stuff gets all over the floor like thread and dust and all kinds of things. And you have to put things away and tidy up. And even when you do, you've got a whole lot of stuff that doesn't look like a magazine because even when it's put away, there's a lot of stuff crammed in here. So I kind of had to have a reality check about that. And I was able to go through some of the very last few things that had really been bothering me, I didn't have any place to put them, and I reallocated some space and put some things away. And now I can move this table right here around wherever I want, and I'm not going to run into things that are on the floor, which is really great. So yeah, just feels really freeing and nice to be in here. And I think I'm just about ready to give you a tour. So I'll be coming up with that, I don't know, in the near future or in the future in general. I don't know when that's going to be. So that's life. And I'm going to move on into a little bit of Jesus, very brief little bit of Jesus. So if that's not for you, I am just so glad that you stopped by and I've spent a little bit of time listening to Jen talk about sewing and just taking a little time out of your life to spend with me, because I like spending it with you. So I hope you'll come back, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you did stick around for a little bit of Jesus, I just have a verse that I want to share with you. It's from Matthew 6. I've been thinking about this a lot. This is from verse 22 and 23. Your eyes are the windows into your body. If you open your eyes wide in wonder and belief, your body fills up with light. I have a daughter. I put a crayon in her hand when she was about 3, and she has been drawing, creating, coloring, animating. That's what she does for a living now. She's 34. And what happened when I did that was I realized that her view of the world has always been full of wonder and light. She's the kid that can see colors that we can't see, just because when she was born, she was only just under 3 pounds. She was early, a couple of months early. And so her eyes have, like her, was it the dark part of her eye, the iris, has always been dilated. And it's always been big. So a lot more light gets into her eyes than normal. And so I've always said to her, your eyes are so full of light and so full of wonder. Now, she doesn't really have a relationship with God. And that's such a dichotomy to me, because her eyes are so full of light. And I think, open my eyes, Lord. Make my eyes like her eyes, full of light. And open her eyes to be able to see you. I pray that all the time for her. And to talk with her about what she sees on a daily basis is amazing, because she can see colors I can't see, because she can see, because so much light gets into her eyes. It's amazing. Her dad just thinks that's like amazing. Just wow. So every time I read that verse, I think of my daughter, and I think of how she does have eyes full of wonder, but she needs to have eyes full of Jesus. And I have eyes full of Jesus, but I still wish that I had more of a capacity to get more light into my eyes, because I just think I want my eyes to be full of light, because I want my life and my soul and my personality and everything to be full of light. It is a very good way to live. It's you know, I pray all the time, Lord, make me like you. And I know that's how he is. He is full of light. So simple thing. Someday we'll get there, won't we? I will leave it at that. And I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here. I say it to everybody. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you soon. So until then.